All right, thank you. 8:32 here at WYKR. As we have promised the last couple of weeks and have been this morning, Mary is with us from the Summertime Marching Band. Mary Saucier Choate also joined us last year at about the same time to kind of promote the Summertime Marching Band and the practices that have begun or are about to begin.
Just about to start.
Are they?
January 28th is our first practice, and we're open up. We're encouraging folks to join us.
All right, so that's, on the
a week from Sunday.
Sunday, wow.
Yeah.
Where's time go?
I know. A whole year went by.
We hate to wish our lives away, but boy, January and February could be rough around here, can't it?
Yeah. So this is good to be practicing music, and the Monroe Town Hall is really adds a bit of warmth to the weather.
Yeah, so I actually checked your Facebook page. You actually have quite a few practices coming up the next few months.
Well, we do. Thanks for mentioning that. Here's the deal. It's once a month. We got to put them all together for the year on the page, so it might look like more, but like some bands.
But still.
Yeah. Well, some bands practice every week. So, and that's one thing I wanted to make clear. A lot of folks might not feel like they can commit the time, but it's once a month practices, which for several of the adults in the band have said that was the clincher for me, because I couldn't come every week, but I can go once a month.
Sure.
So we practice once a month on Sundays. It's usually the last Sunday of the month, but depending on what's going on at the town hall, sometimes you have to switch it.
Sure.
And it's from 6 to 7:30, and we practice at the Monroe Town Hall, which is a shout out to Monroe. Thank you for that nice Benny. For if you live in Monroe, you get the use of the town hall for free. Yeah. So we do that once a month, and it is a blast. And one of our practices, we practice inside, of course, when it's cold, but when it gets warmer, we go outside or march around the town hall, and sometimes march out to the school. And people come out of their houses. It's so fun. And one time, the neighbors who used to live right next to the town hall videoed us. You know, it was our first practice. We looked kind of funny, but it was great. It was fun.
So approximately how many did you have marching with you last year?
Last year, depending on the parade, we had up to 25 marching.
Really?
Yeah. And there's always more people than can march because people have schedules, they have life. But we have between 20 and 25 folks for most parades. Yeah, but the reason we try to recruit people in January is because that's when we might introduce new songs and people can practice with us and learn those songs. But also, we recruit new people because things change for people, right? Like students might get involved in something else and they drop out of the band. One of our great piccolo players moved away to Maine, so she won't be with us. And older people might drop out, or younger people too, for health issues. So,
that's right.
So we're always looking to encourage more folks. So this year, it's kind of exciting for the people in the band and for anyone joining the band, is we're adding a few songs. And the other thing I want to make sure folks know is this is a community band. That's why we can practice once a month, and we do easy songs. We don't want this to be a big barrier to joining us. We play easy songs. If you've played in band in high school, dust off that horn or that woodwind or percussion instrument and come join us, because we're not trying to do really difficult songs. we're doing songs that are really fun to play and fun to hear.
That's good.
So our regular rotation that we have right now, we're doing Independencia, which is a classic marching tune, Your Grand Old Flag, Saints Go Marching In, Stars and Stripes Forever, the Hogan's Hero theme song, and Bridge Over the River Kwai.
Oh, yeah.
And Anchors Away. So those are what we're doing now. But over the year, we realized we wanted to add all the service anthems. So this year we're adding the service anthems for each of the bands, each of the branches of the service as a medley.
Yes.
And then, Perry Williams is the co-founder of the band. He's just Mike shy, so he didn't want to be here. But he is great, and he's sort of our maestro. And he added the Magnificent Seven theme song, segueing into Hawaii Five-0. Okay. Oh my gosh, so fun!
Is it good?
So fun. Our big practice with everybody is January 28th, 6 p.m. at the Monroe Town Hall. But to get ready for that, the percussion folks have gotten together for two Sundays before that. So we practiced for the first time last Sunday, and we're going to practice this Sunday. So we have it together and don't wreck everything for all the other musicians that are going to come on the first big practice. So we got to hear and practice those songs, and they are so fun. I think you can see, because you'll be at the July 4th parade, right, usually.
Yeah.
I bet people are going to throw their hats up in the air when we come by, because that is how fun these songs are, and how energetic. The military anthems, and then the Magnificent Seven, and then Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing in the world. My husband bought me tri-toms a couple years ago because I really wanted to play the tri-toms.
Okay.
But at that time I was playing the snare for the band because we didn't have a snare player. Now we have a great snare player, Dennis Coate, who works at Littleton Coin Company, and And so he's on the snare, and I get to play the tritoms. And so doing that diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle from the Hawaii Five-O opening.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I get to do that. It's
Yeah.
like a dream come true. It's like bucket list check off.
Perfect
right there.
timing for both of you.
Yeah.
And the band.
Yeah, for everybody. So
Yeah.
I just want to encourage folks to join us. Again, the time commitment is low. The songs are easy to play. We do that on purpose, so it's easy to learn them with the one practice a month.
Sure. Well.
And the joy we get when we go through parades. So these are the parades we did last year. The Lisbon Lilac Parade, the St. J Pet Parade. That's in St. J, obviously. Old Home Day Franconia. The one we got started for was the Woodsville Wells River 4th of July Parade. I'm going to do the West Newbury Parade, which is like marching through Mayberry. You know, it's so fun.
Really.
It's so fun.
But so homey, you know.
So
it's just
homey
awesome.
and
Yeah.
wonderful. It's like I'm looking for Aunt B
Yeah.
whenever we
hear
do
you.
this parade.
Yeah.
But only people like over 50 will understand that reference. I tried to tell someone
Really?
about that, and they were
Say
like,
what?
"What are you talking about?" No idea. Then we also did a Bethlehem little parade this summer, and then a little parade in Sheffield for Labor Day.
Sheffield, wow.
Yeah.
Traveling out there for that one?
We don't go that far usually, but one of our band snare drummers lives out there, and so
Okay.
he asked us, so we did
Sure,
that.
sure.
And then the Burke Fall Foliage Festival, we did that for the first time, and that was
Yeah.
fun. And then we did the Littleton Christmas Parade. So that's that's our schedule.
So about 10.
Yeah,
9 or 10.
yeah, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward. And the thing is, it doesn't cost anything to join our band. All you need is a Hawaiian shirt, because that's our costume is Hawaiian shirt, tan bottoms, whether it's shorts or pants or whatever is fine. And then you can wear your own straw hat, or we have straw hats. So that's it. And then the money that we get from the fee that we charge pays the gas money to everybody.
Sure.
So it's like a little, what do you call it, honorarium that
Well,
you get for when we do parades that are.
Got to have something for your services.
Yeah.
So, do you have people come to you that have no band experience? You can kind of give them direction where they could go to come back with some experience?
Yeah, well, that was me. When we started, I didn't know how to play the drums, and I took classes from this place in Lebanon. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Because
but
you were working down there at the time.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
You're so good. And we do have several music teachers in the band. Like Shel Stein is a music teacher, and he could teach people,
Yeah.
and then he's actually sent us some students of his to to play with us.
Yeah.
And also for instruments, if you've played in the past but you don't have an instrument now, we have ideas for where you could get them. Dennis, again, our wonderful snare drum player, he has access to this band equipment from a band that's no longer in existence at a Catholic school, and they're selling at a great discount this equipment. So, like a snare drum for, I think it was like $50, which is unheard of.
Wow.
So we can help if you have the desire. We can help get you hooked up. And if you can't play at all and aren't really interested in playing this, we can still use your help. So, for example, we have banner carriers. We have the marching band banner, and we always need folks for that because people are, again, they have lives and they're busy at different parades. So we might use
some go-to people.
Yeah, some go-to people who's like, yeah, I'll do it, and when we need you. Because we don't have people who do it every single parade, but we have lots of people volunteering for that.
Yeah.
We also have a flag carrier who is usually the same person. It's Kim, who plays a wonderful piccolo, her son, but sometimes he can't make it, so other people for that would be helpful. And if we had more people, we would definitely invest in a New Hampshire flag and a Vermont state flag to a side next to the American flag, and we could use people for that.
This is how many years practicing at the Monroe Town Hall?
This is going into our 4th season, which blows my mind.
How many years has the band been organized?
4 years.
4
yeah.
years. Okay.
Yeah, because we started like the year before.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how we started, which is so crazy?
Sure.
So, I was thinking about it on the way down here. I had noticed, particularly in the Woodsville Wales River Parade, that there weren't many bands, sometimes like one or none. And I thought, this is so sad. It's such a quiet parade. You know what I mean? Except for the fire engines. And so I thought, we really need a band. And so I talked to this woman who's my friend now, Colleen Strout, who used to help work on that parade. And her daughter actually is in our band. She plays the flute.
Right.
I asked her, why you guys don't you have any bands? What about high schools? And she was like, all the high schools sort of disband now. I mean, they kids do their own thing in the summer. They aren't marching in bands. So I was like, we really need a band. So then just kept thinking about that. And then I happened to be in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, on a day when the cavalcade of high school bands was there. I hadn't planned it, didn't realize it, didn't even really know what it was, but I happened to be there, and I got to see many, I forget how many, there were a number of high school bands marching down Eastern Ave, in front of a Catamount. And I was like, oh,
wow,
killing me.
Really?
We need this so much. Why? I need to be in a band or something. And so the one that really got me, oh my gosh, I hope I don't start crying because it was so incredible. The band was all dressed up as Star Wars characters.
Really?
So you had Princess Leia and Wookiee and stormtroopers marching with their playing the Star Wars theme songs. Oh my God.
It was great.
So wonderful.
Great, yeah.
So anyway, then I was like really hepped up with no place to go. I called around. There weren't any
I was going to
bands
say, you have
join.
some contacts.
I have a lot of contacts, but I didn't know if they were band members.
Because you play guitar and sing.
Right, in the Backshed String Band.
Yeah.
And I have lots of friends in bluegrass bands.
Yeah.
Except I didn't know. Now
So you had some connections with music people.
with music people, which might be, I didn't know what I know now, which
Yeah.
is a lot of these folks were in high school bands. So
Right.
yeah, so we started. So then I ended up going to Jerry Jam, still with all this in my head, thinking need to do this, and I started just talking about this with my friend Perry Williams, who's the co-founder, and he was like, "Yeah, I really want to start a band too, or be in a band too, a marching band." And then we just started. We talked to our friend Kevin Colossa, who's in another band, but he's also a local music teacher, and he gave us some ideas for where to get sheet music and some other ideas, and he's in the band too.
So are you finding it gaining more momentum every year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, are you great?
Just the quality of players. Well, the quality of all of us is improving because we're playing a lot,
Sure,
And then
exactly. You learn from it, yeah.
Yeah, and the folks like, oh my gosh, Dennis joining our band was amazing. Well, all the players who have been who still play or who played in high school, they seem to get it back really fast. So I'm just impressed. Like Kim, who's plays the piccolo in the band, and her son carries the flag often. Her high school. Oh, is it Londonderry High School that was in the Rose Bowl parade this year? She was in that parade.
Really?
In London, I think. Oh darn! I hope it might be. Darn it! I'm so sad that I can't remember the band.
Well, you're giving it credit anyway.
Well, this is the town is tiny
Yeah.
and the band is huge. They must
Really?
draw from other towns, but they were in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And very exciting to have New Hampshire's representation
Sure, it would
there.
be. I mean, that's California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch it every year. I mean, I watch the recording and zip to the bands.
We're going to take a break, Mary.
Okay.
Mary Sasha Cho is with us, talking about the Summertime Marching Band. We'll get back with some of its dates and its first rehearsal at the Monroe Town Hall in just a couple of weeks. But first, we're going to take a break, look at the weather forecast for the WYKR listening area. As my tongue gets ahead of me a little bit once in a while. You talk fast.
I talk really fast. I'm hoping people can understand what I'm saying.
I do sometimes too. Mary Sasha Choate is with us, and she's part of the Summertime Marching Band. Going to have its fourth year coming up. 2018 is your fourth year.
Yeah. I pinched myself because we started with 4 people, right? Well, actually 2 people, me and Perry, and then our first practice. I have a picture of it on our Facebook page, which is me and Perry, Woody Woods, who's on snare, and Shel Stein on clarinet. So this was our first practice. Now we have like 20 people at a practice, which is great.
Now, Woody also plays banjo, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said before. I knew all these people in music, but I had no idea there were so many people in bluegrass and other kind of bands who also had a history of being in a marching band. So let's see. There's Woody, who plays snare, and he's in Parker Hill Road, and also his bandmate Chris Kate, who plays baritone for us, and he's in
Right.
Parker Hill. Shel isn't in a band right now, but he plays bluegrass. I mean, he plays banjo and guitar, I think. And who else from bluegrass bands? Oh, Mike Reynolds, who's down south of here in Bristol area. He is in the Brock Hill band. He plays banjo with David, my husband, who's in that band too. He comes up when we need a bass player. He'll play bass drum for us. He also plays bass drum in a jazz band.
Really?
Isn't that wild? It's so
Yeah.
cool bluegrass and jazz and rock and roll. People play in several bands sometimes.
Now, Backshed String Band,
Yeah.
that comes from being actual Backshed.
Yeah,
Friday
from our
nights at
Backshed
your
on
place?
Friday nights,
So do
yeah.
you still do that?
We do, yeah. It's been a little less attended because of the bad weather.
Oh, boy.
Like Friday has been a bad night, but still, people come. We're always so blown away that people come,
Really?
even like they brave the roads and come.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how many people would usually hang around to play on a Friday
Well,
night?
it depends. Like lately, it's been maybe 6 or 7, but
Well,
it can be
that's
as
pretty
many.
good.
Yeah, it can be as many as like I don't know, 15, which
Wow.
really gets packed. And then
kidding.
depending, there have been fewer viewers too, just because of the weather. But in good weather, it can be like again 15 or 20 people And sometimes people outside because they can't fit in.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Well, good for
yeah,
you.
it's good.
You'll
It's-
have your own Woodstock, except call it Monroe.
I know, really. It'd be small.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's fun every Friday night. It sort of is like that. It's like a jam,
Yeah.
a bluegrass jam. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
bluegrass kind of instruments. But what a blast.
Yeah. So anyway, Summertime Marching Band. Summertime will be here before you know it. Your first march will be when?
Our first march is May 26th, the Lilac Time Parade. We've already been asked for that. That's
Okay.
in Lisbon.
All right.
And we've already been asked for West Newbury, also known to me as Mayberry, on August 11th. And I say that completely lovingly. It's
Oh,
such
I
a
know you
lovely
do.
little town.
Yeah.
And we haven't been asked yet, but I know they will ask us for the Woodsville Wells River 4th of July Parade. So, yeah, and I'm sure we'll add probably 3 or 4 more or 5 in there.
Right.
We have been requested for like farther away, but we don't want to really go farther than like an hour. And even that's kind of pushing it because people, this is their weekend. Usually the parades are on weekends, and we want to, it's like, you don't want to have people get stressed out having to go to a place they don't know where it is or
Right.
how to get there. So we mostly stick around to our area, New
Right.
Hampshire, Vermont, in St. Johnsbury, Woodsville.
Kind of there goes the day if you travel too far, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so just going over some of the things again for the Summertime Marching Band. You'll have your first practice when, and who can come to it?
Yeah, so our first practice this year is Sunday, January 28th. It's at 6 o'clock, Monroe Town Hall, and we encourage anyone who plays a band instrument or has played in the past. This is a great way to get back into it. And particularly, I want to shout out to folks who are older. One person called me and said, "I can't march, so I can't be in your band. Do you have a truck?" And we were the marching band on purpose because we wanted to march. But
Yeah.
we would encourage you to, if you don't mind being in a wheelchair, we'll find someone to push you if you don't mind. One of our players, Rachel Booth, who's wonderful on the baritone, and she also bought her own tuba. No, she bought a sousaphone to play, I think. And she had surgery, and she had to be in a wheelchair, and we pushed her, not playing the tuba, playing the baritone horn, and it was great. And I thought, great for her for not saying, "Oh, I don't want to be in a wheelchair, so I'm not going to do it."
Yeah.
And great for her to show that you can be in our band.
Sure.
We'll find volunteers. We can find volunteers to push you, and we would love to have you.
Yeah.
So this is like a bucket list thing. If you've been thinking, "Oh, I should do this," just come and join us.
So to contact you, Facebook you?
Yeah, Facebook is easy. If you're not familiar with Facebook, you can call me in Monroe. 638-4903. And you can go to Facebook even if you don't belong to Facebook. If you're on a computer, you can just put in the Summertime Marching Band. Our Facebook page will come up, and you will see us, and you can see what we're doing and when the practices are. It's so much fun. You cannot, and if you're into this, if this rings a bell with you, like I know I mentioned marching band, I try to sometimes, if I find out a friend is in a band, I'll say, "Come and join our band." They were like, "You're marching?" No, they don't want it. So, but if that's not your response, if your response is you're marching, yes, then you please give us a call because you will have a blast with us.
And besides the marching, you have the before and the after camaraderie, which is part of all of this.
It's so fun. And it's fun because it's such a wide range of ages. I mean, we have like school-age kids, middle school kids, up to retired folks in their 70s. Sure. And it's a treat to hang out with all these different people, all who are making music together.
So you can Facebook the Summertime Marching Band. It'll all come up. And either call Mary at
638-4903.
Got it right there in Monroe.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much for letting us talk about this again, Steve.
Good to see you again.
Same here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.